deal with a chronic illness, right? I spend a decent amount of time in the hospital. And usually these days when I do, people think it's COVID related. And I'm like, no, it's not COVID, it's sickle cell. I only support Black illnesses. We got a few now. We got sickle cell, diabetes, and ever since Jada, we got alopecia. She put her head in the game, you know? It's the truth, man. Sickle cell is tough. It basically mutates my red blood cells. Sickle cell mutates my red blood cells, right? It doesn't allow my red blood cells to get oxygen where it needs to go, right? Can't deliver it. It's like your red blood cells are Tom Brady throwing a touchdown pass. My red blood cells are pissed off UPS driver throwing your iPhone at the door. So it results in a bunch of stupid symptoms. Like, I'm anemic, which means I get cold very easily. That's why I'm wearing a sweater right now. You know how hard it is to be a man who gets cold easily? You know how hard it is to get bitches with goosebumps? Every time I go out on a date with a girl, my arms start breaking out. She look at me like, oh, are you catching feelings? And I'm like, no, bitch, I'm catching pneumonia. You know? It's a tough illness to have, dog. Every time I give a girl my coat, I'm risking my fucking life. And if I don't do it, I hear stuff like, chivalry is dead. Chivalry is dead. Fuck chivalry. I'm shivering. You know what I mean? It's a tough illness to have. Like, it's triggered by alcohol. So I shouldn't drink, but I do. Because how else am I supposed to get these hoes? Sickle cell slows down your cellular growth, so I look a lot younger than I actually am. A lot of y'all probably think I'm in my 20s. I'm 67 years old. I do old people shit now, you know? I started taking naps. I used to think sleeping during the day, pish posh. Right? Now I love naps. You ever try to take a nap, but the nap take you? You wake up, it's dark outside. You feel like you got kidnapped for 2 seconds. You're like, today's the day. It's a tough illness to have, man. It made me unrelatable in a way, right? Because I would hear things differently than my friends. When I was in high school, a doctor told me that by the time I'm 25, I'd have to have a gallbladder removed. By the time I'm 30, I'd have to have a hip replacement. Glory to God, none of that has happened, right? Thank you. Yeah, thank you. It just made it harder for me to relate to people. Kids at school would be like, Jay Snow, come on, let's play kickball. I'd be like, I can't. Why? I gotta save my hip, nigga. I got 10 years worth of good kicks left. You think I'm gonna waste them having fun? I got fucking to do. Trying to have kids, nigga. It's a tough illness to have, man. I get strange mail with sickle cell, you know? I got a letter in the mail from my doctor one time that said I'm at risk of having a non-functioning spleen. And I was pissed because I'm like, I just saw my doctor. He could have told me in person or text me or send me a letter, right? But it made me kind of sad, so I took a picture of it and I sent it to my mom. And she responded with, aha, no 10 kids for you. Love you, Mom. Exactly. I was just as confused, right? So I FaceTimed her, but I don't call it FaceTime because she never holds the phone right. So I chin-timed her, right? I chin-timed her and was like, why would you laugh at me after I just told you I had a non-functioning spleen? She said, spleen? I thought you said sperm. And look, I know this is kind of heavy, right? But understand something. I'm living my dream right now, you know? Yeah. I traveled the world, you know? I've done things that I wanted to do for my whole life, so I have a good life, right? I just deal with dumb shit all the time, right? Like, one of the worst symptoms of sickle cell is the pain. And you know what? These days, the FDA released this thing called curative therapies for sickle cell, right? And everybody's DMing it to me, texting it to me. Have you heard? There's a cure for sickle cell. And I'm like, no, it's not a cure. That's why they call it a curative therapy. So you can't sue them if the shit don't work, right? And they're not even telling you the worst part about these curative therapies. One of them is $2 million. The other one is $3 million. Sickle cell predominantly affects African American and Latino people in this country. What Black or Mexican family you know got 3 million just sitting around? And if they did, I wouldn't use it for this shit. Hell no. The best that these pharmaceutical companies could do with these curative therapies is incentivize them, right? Just pay Black and Latino families $3 million to kill the nigga with sickle cell. I know that's extreme, but it'll cure a few things, right? One, it'll eradicate this illness. Two, it'll give Black and Latino families a fair chance at generational wealth. Three, and this is a sadder fact, is we'd have to see America descend into sickle cell Hunger Games edition, you know? You'd have to watch out for booby traps when you go to Burlington Coat Factory. People will start claiming sickle cell who don't even got it. I got sickle cell, where's my 3 million? Sir, you're white. I'm Creole. You'd hear about people dying in strange ways. Did you hear what happened to John? No, what happened? He died. How? He put on a heating pad and had fentanyl in it. It's a strange thing, man. Life is funny, dog. And even when life ain't funny, it's up to you to find a way to make it funny. Because sometimes it's the only way to get through a really dark time, right? And I developed this skill at a very young age, before I even knew I had it. I was 10 years old, right? And my father had just died. Don't worry, I didn't know him any more than y'all did. Right? But I remember it like it was yesterday. It was Thanksgiving, and my Cowboys was losing, right? So my auntie pulled me to the side, and she was like, hey, I gotta tell you something. And I was like, what? And she was like, something happened to your father. And I was like, who? And she was like, stop being a smart ass, right? She was like, your dad got in with the wrong crowd. You know, he started taking some hard drugs. Him and two of his friends broke into a warehouse after hours. While he was inside, this alarm got tripped and the gate started to close. They tried to make a run for it. One person got out, second person got out, the third person was your dad. And he got pinned by the gate, suffocated, passed. Right. My 10-year-old brain couldn't even process this. The first thing I did was just blurt out, there's no way he got into heaven. My auntie was like, why would you say that about your father? I was like, who? She was like, stop being a smart ass. Right? She was like, why would you say your father wouldn't get into heaven? And I was like, auntie, because if he can't get past the gates on earth, how are we gonna get past it?